Hello everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It's 7 o'clock New York time. Thank you so much for joining us today. You guys are in for a real treat with us in New York City. Those of us who are from New York City, the weather outside is very cold, but we are here to feel great because we're going to be talking about feelings. And today we have a special, actually very special guest with us. He is my teacher, he's my mentor, and he's all the way from Germany. And I truly appreciate him taking this time to teach us this valuable piece of information that we're going to hear today. So without further ado, allow me to introduce Aditya Unwanted, all the way from Germany.
Great. Nice that you invited me, Irina. I'm very grateful to be with the New Yorkers once again. And hello from Hamburg, Germany. It's not that cold here, but still we had snow previously, and it's going to be still a winter. But we are going to go into the fragrant spheres tonight. And my question to you, does video and sound work? Please indicate in the chat box on the right side panel and say hello maybe, so we know that you can hear and see us. Okay, usually it takes a while till the chat answer comes. It goes through a loop. Yeah, and Randy, hello, nice to see you. Great.
Hi, Randy.
Time. So I'm giving over to you, Irina, and I come when my time has come to say something.
Okay, guys, hello once again, and in a second I'm going to turn off the video camera, so you will no longer see me, but I just wanted you to know that I'm here, and we are going live with feelings. Aditya just put a slide up, and let me switch over to no camera mode. Okay, feelings and the application of essential oils. Okay, so briefly about us, about our team. You see a picture of Aditya and myself. We are aromatherapists. We work with essential oils, nature's wonders. Our team is called Team Enjoy and is our community of mindful, health-loving, and lifestyle-dedicated people that choose to live true to things essential. We hand on the ancient yet ever new knowledge of life, happiness, and being. In doing so, we are using essential oils and oil-infused products to enjoy great purity, higher energy, and a positive vibration in our lives. So this is just a mission statement for our team. And without further ado, we're going to jump right into feelings. I'm first going to read a slide, guys, and then I'm just going to add my own personal comments, experiences, and etc. What is the Feelings one? What is Feelings Essential Oils Kit? What is it for? Well, this kit was inspired by our founder, Gary Young. Gary Young is the founder of Young Living Essential Oils. And Gary Young's experiences, the Feelings Kit was created to solve negative impressions and open up our being for a new life and a new beginning. Most of us have to go through painful experiences in life, which leave scars in our mind and our being. These scars may become real hindrances to our inner growth and slow us down on our way to new achievements. By applying the Feelings Kit, we walk along the path of true self-identification while balancing and adjusting our emotions. And what I would like to add to this is just we cannot help but feel, because we are feeling beings, and our feelings change every minute, change every hour, change every day, because we are affected by so many circumstances around us, by memories, by experiences, and like me, for example, today I had a terrible I had a terrible day where I had to actually center myself, sit down with myself and say, oh my God, the world is spinning, everything is just going wrong. And I was lucky enough to have a friend of mine, Maria, who pulled out essential oil blend of stress away, and she offered it to me. I was so happy to apply, and it made me smile, and right away that essential oil saved me. And of course I had to sit and catch my breath. So yeah, absolutely, essential oils interact with us in such a positive way, and they pass through our blood barriers straight to the limbic system and affect our emotions and affect our feelings. And also, I believe that I asked Aditya to present this information because, like right here in New York City, we experiencing cold weather. It's less sunshine, less vitamin D. We're not outdoors. We're not in nature as much. So, and it is not unlikely to feel a little bit blue, a little bit down, fall off your New Year resolution because of lack of motivation, maybe. And it's normal because when the weather is cold outside, your body naturally wants to stay warm and store fat and stay home. And it's hard to keep up with your exercise regime and routine. And that's also where essential oils can help you. They can help you stay motivated and stay on track, as Aditya are going to tell you. And also, we're right now in a very, very powerful energy of Mercury retrograde. Those of us who believe in celestial energies, where, you know, things kind of slow down, communications, miscommunications can affect our feelings a lot. And it's important to ground yourself and just sit down with yourself and take a deep breath, inhale nice essential oil, and really give into the moment of a present time. So with that being said, I'm going to read this next slide. Negative experiences and ideas are stored in our brain and influence our memories for a lifetime. These memories vary from mild to extreme and have a deep impact on our health and happiness. To become the person we really want to be and to let our positive vision come true, we have to let go of these negative impressions and reprogram our mind and emotions. And this was said by Gary Young. This was his mission behind also creating the Feelings Kit and creating essential oil blends that speak to our feelings directly. I will hand it over to Aditya.
Yes, I'm here. So to give you a little historical perspective, Gary Young is basically a cowboy from Idaho, and he has always been a seeker of wellness, of balance, of energy, of freshness, of health. And he traveled around the world many times to study herbology and other forms of ancient wellness, because the ancients, they had quite a knowledge of the energies of life and puts us in balance, not only physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. The ancients, especially the Egyptians, with whom the journey of essential oils really started thousands of years ago, the ancients knew that our connection with the cosmos, our connection with life, could be greatly helped with these subtle substances, subtle essences that etheric oils, essential oils embody. So in 1982, Gary Young studied at the university in Cairo essential oils and their chemistry. Since the high civilization in ancient Egypt had a deep knowledge of essential oils, actually, till Gary made this discovery I'm going to tell you about, that was a closed secret, a closed door for millennia. Every weekend, Gary used to take the bus or train to explore their sacred sites, ruins, and temples in search of more answers to this, until this day, not yet thoroughly researched phenomenon on essential oils. He went to the Valley of the Kings, to hidden valleys and sacred sites of the pharaohs, Isis priestesses, and the frankincense caravan. in Petra, and going actually, he went all over Egypt, Jordan, and Arabic countries. He went to explore temples, graves, and so on, and actually he is quite an adventurer. Some of these trips, as you can imagine, were not that easy, especially for an American. However, he adapted and he made some amazing discoveries. Each weekend he traveled to another part. One day he had a very unusual experience at the temple of Isis on the island of Philae. He joined an English tourist group, can you imagine, and listened carefully what the tour guide telling them about the place. Suddenly, an Egyptian guard came and tapped Gary gently on his shoulder, saying, "Come with me. I'll show you what you came here to see." At first, Gary was annoyed because he think the Egyptian just wanted bakshish from him, basically money. Because that's, if you are a traveler, you know how it is. They are always there and ask for some money. So he told the man, "No thanks," and disappeared in the tourist group. The same thing happened again and again. After the third time, Gary said to himself, and listen carefully, this is a message for you all, if something calls you 3 times in your life, you should listen. So the next time the Egyptian came to tap his shoulders, he followed him through a hidden door in a dark corridor up on the roof of the temple. From up there, Gary had a stunning view over the island and the lake. But it was not what Gary was meant to see. The real secret took them further down, deep under the earth. And actually the door closed behind, a rock door, and Gary first thought, "Oh my God, I'm an idiot, I'm trapped. Maybe they'll kidnap me, maybe they'll ask for ransom." But the Egyptian stayed friendly. And here he brought him to a small room full of hieroglyphs and pictures showing Isis priestesses doing applications with balsamic oils and essential oils. Gary Young could hardly believe his eyes. Here there was the descriptions and paintings of a ritual he himself had experienced about a year ago in his dreams. Some people have visionary dreams. Some people travel in their dreams. They can get messages in their dreams. Gary Young is one of those lucky individuals. That ritual was called the cleansing of the flesh and the blood. And actually, I have to already spill the beans, Irina. We will have a Feelings 2 webinar in February, and we will introduce you to this ritual of the cleansing of the flesh and blood in that second webinar. So this is really rare knowledge, and you're going to have it. So the Egyptian allowed Gary to take photographs, which he later translated with 5 Egyptologists he got from Cairo University. And this is taken from Gary's first book, Aromatherapy, The Essential Beginning, published in 1994. Handing over to you again, Irina, to introduce the first oil.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This is such a learning about history. Now, valor. And valor is special oil. Is one of my favorites. Valor balances our being while increasing courage, faith, and self-confidence. Valor helps the body to correct its malposition, whereby we found back to our own core. Valor has a base of fractionated coconut oil and consists of
rosewood, blue tansy, frankincense, and spruce. I had quite an experience 5 years ago with the aromatherapist lady from Berlin, Germany, who is doing aromatherapy for 35 years. And she saw the oils and she saw the compositions of Gary Young. And she said to me, he knows how to spell. He is an alphabet. You, young man, are analphabet. You don't know the alphabet. I said, excuse me, I can read, I can write. She said, no, you have no idea how the plants have to be put together correctly for the effectiveness of an oil blend. And she really put her finger on the spot, because I thought originally, and sorry for admitting this, I thought, what can this American cowboy do? I know better what blends are good for myself. And I bought only single oils. And I said, I'll make my own blends and they'll be much better than anything a guy from Idaho can do for me. Boy, how wrong was I? I had, among 20 blends I did myself, I had actually one which really was somehow nice. All the others somehow, and I didn't know back then because, well, I was analphabet. Now I'm studying a little bit what Gary is doing, and he has this vast knowledge for the last 30, 40 years. He met with the most preeminent aromatherapists in the world, and he got these ancient sources from Egypt. So rosewood, a plant from South America, very good for the skin, by the way, acts grounding. It grounds you strongly, it connects you to Mother Earth, it stabilizes, and it increases your inner strength. That's the basis of the function of the oil. Blue tansy, it's a plant that grows primarily in Morocco, but all across the world. But in Morocco, we have some very good blue tansy. Also, there is some blue tansy, in fact, in Idaho. It supports the purification of liver and lymphatic system. So it is applied basically on the liver and on the lymph vessels, and decreases occasional anger and repressive emotions in our day-to-day life. Well, how can it decrease occasional anger and repressive emotions? It is so wonderful. The moment you apply blue tansy, you feel like a big pressure is going away from you, and you feel like a gentle, soft stream going through your whole body. Valor creates a feeling of self-determination by this effect of blue tansy, of letting go, of unstressing yourself, of decreasing pressure and anger and repressive emotions. Because actually, the pressure we put on ourselves, the pressure others put on us, the pressure the daily life puts on us, really lets us not be self-determined. We become slaves of the pressures of the environment and of the pressures, emotional pressures we put on ourselves. So that's the second component of valor. Third component of valor, frankincense. So frankincense is basically the top of the tree. If we say rosewood grounds you, stabilizes you, connects you to Mother Earth, frankincense has been always seen as the one oil that connects you to the spheres of light, that connects you to spirit. A holy anointing oil which has been used for spiritual ceremonies for thousands of years. It stimulates our limbic system, which is where the emotions are controlled, and it increases our mind's creativity. If you have frankincense as a single oil, it's great to just inhale it. Also, it's great to apply it in the middle of your forehead, on the place of the third eye, and also on your crown, on the top of your head. Frankincense helps us to overcome stress, despair, and dejection. So if we get occasionally really worn down and sad and melancholic, it can happen to anyone, frankincense is there to lift our spirits. The fourth and final ingredient of valor, and as we said, it's based in coconut oil, because valor is a great oil for massage as well, not just for putting it on the chakras, on the energy centers, and all along the meridians and the lymphatic vessels. The fourth single oil is spruce, which is a good starting point. You know, the spruce is a totally straight tree. Some trees are quite crooked. They grow in all directions. The spruce is always totally upright. And when you work with valor, you will feel this, well, how can I say, it makes you straight. It straightens you. It aligns you. And this is the function of the spruce oil. It not only brings harmony and releases emotional patterns, but also it is well known as a fragrance with the frequency of wealth. In fact, there is another blend we're not going to talk about today that has the 8 ancient fragrances of wealth. Spruce is one of them. So Valor was right from the beginning my absolute favorite oil, and I didn't really know why, but you know, we are so cut off from nature nowadays. We live so much in the technological civilization that we need grounding. We need harmonization. We need to be aligned again, and we need to be connected to the spirit spheres. And Valor, by strength of its components, does this for you. So how to apply Valor? You apply it on the bottom of your feet, on your shoulders, on your neck, on your forehead, and if you want, on your crown chakra at the top of your head. Additionally, you could also apply it on the left and on the right temple, but the main application is on the feet. You should do that always first when you work with the feelings oils. And one tip for you, the best effect you get from the feeling set if you do this application that we are showing you tonight every morning after getting out of bed and every evening before going to bed for 30 days. So basically 60 applications that will have a tremendous transformational effect on you. How about Valor for you, Irina?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, this is one of my favorites. There are a few ways that I use Valor personally. One is before my workouts. It helps me, believe it or not, it helps me to balance. I do a lot of spin classes. I take a lot of spin classes. So it really is a balancing oil. So it gives you that strength and motivation. I use it before yoga class. I actually bring it with me to the yoga studio. I apply it right before the class, and because it contains frankincense, it also helps me ground myself and get myself ready for the class, while balancing effects of Valor help me to get through the class with balancing postures and stuff. Also, I use Valor on my shoulders and my feet. I inhale Valor if I go into an important meeting, something that requires a great degree of concentration, and I need a little bit of a confidence, a little bit of courage. I also use Valor for that purpose. And I see that we have our next oil, which is Harmony. Harmony is, we all would like to experience harmony, so I just like the way this oil sounds. This essential oil blend gives us the feeling of physical and emotional entity by harmonizing our chakras. For those of you who are not familiar with chakras, chakras are energy centers in our body, and we have 7 chakras. Therefore, harmony is especially helpful in times of stress where we feel shattered and lonely. It enables us to live in harmony with others and with our own cycle of life, and promotes an optimistic attitude towards life by clearing our thoughts. And Aditya is going to introduce the ingredients.
Well, and that's a major what happened? I throw my presentation out in all the excitement. Let's come back. Geranium, lavender, sandalwood, orange, angelica, lemon, hyssop, bergamot, jasmine, Roman chamomile, ylang ylang, palm rose, rose, the Damascene rose, Spanish sage, and also frankincense and spruce, which we explained already with Valor. That's we are not going in detail into frankincense and spruce anymore. Why I'm giving you this overview is very simple. There is different types of oils. Some oils come from the petals, the flower petals. For example, geranium is such a petal oil, flower oil. Then jasmine is such a flower oil. Ylang ylang is a flower oil. Palm rose is a flower oil. And rose is a flower oil. That's the start. Second, lavender is the complete plant. It's the stems, it's the leaves, and it's the flowers. Besides lavender, we have also angelica as the complete herb, hyssop as the complete herb, Roman chamomile as the complete herb, and Spanish sage as the complete oil. That's the second type of oils. Flowers and petals have a different effect than the complete plant. The third type of plant parts that are used is wood. For example, the sandalwood oil gets distilled directly from the wood of the sandalwood tree. We have another one. No, we don't have. Oh yeah, we have spruce, of course. Spruce and sandalwood are the two wood or tree oils. Frankincense is a fourth category. Frankincense is distilled from the, how you call it, what comes out of the tree, the resin. It's distilled from resin, so that's a fourth type. And if you know aroma archetypes, which is an amazing study, you know that each part of the plants has a different effect. Now there's a fifth type, orange, lemon, bergamot. These are fruit oils. They are from the peel of citrus fruits, citric fruits. And again, the fruit has another function, and the essential oil in the fruit has another function. And I think I'm through. We have these 5 out of 7 aroma archetypes contained in just one blend. What does that say? It says that it basically, it completes all types, or 5 out of the 7 aroma archetypes. What is missing is the root oils and the seed oils. These are the only 2 that are missing. The others we all have. That means harmony comes when we are harmonizing with all the parts of the plant. And we as human beings, of course, we also have different parts, and we have to put our parts in harmony. So that's why there is this huge composition. That's number 1. Number 2, geranium corresponds to the heart chakra and to the thymus, to the thyme gland in the area of the chest, the heart hormones, the heart emotions. Lavender balances. Sandalwood has also a hormonal effect on the pineal gland. Jasmine has a hormonal effect on the heart. Ylang ylang balances yin and yang. And Spanish sage has a hormonal effect on the first 2 endocrine glands, which are for procreation, for life energy. Now, normally you see never a blend which combines the upper and the lower endocrine glands. Like here we have the sandalwood for the pineal gland, as well as the Spanish sage for the lower endocrine glands. But also there is a lot of the middle inside, the middle being the heart, the thymus, with jasmine and with geranium. So he's an alphabet, he knows what he's doing, he balances out all the endocrine glands, and as we all know, they are connected with the chakras, they are connected with the energetic system. That means it balances the upper, the head, and what connects us high up, with the lower, with where our life energy comes from, our sexual energy comes from, our drive, our passion comes from, and he centers it in the middle, in our heart. Also, rose plays an important role in that. And ylang ylang has a very special role because it's the one oil that is very strong in balancing the male and the female, the yin and the yang. There are some other oils which work harmonizingly on the nervous system. And to give you this overview, why did I give you this lengthy overview of the different components? It shows you that in the way of the aroma archetypes, the different parts of the plants, the peel of the fruit, the petals of the flowers, the wood, sandalwood and spruce, the resin, the frankincense, as well as the whole herb in case of lavender and Spanish sage and Roman chamomile, for example. It's really goes all around, takes all parts of the being. It harmonizes the endocrine system, it harmonizes the nerve system, it harmonizes the chakras, and it harmonizes yin and yang energies and male and female. And mind you, we all have male and female inside, whether we are man or woman. And sometimes a man has too much male or not enough male inside himself. Sometimes a woman has too much feminine or not enough feminine inside herself. Using harmony is amazing. It balances out your femininity, your masculinity, and you really start to feel yourself in a new way, in a different way. Application of the oil harmony according to Gary Young's feelings protocol. Apply harmony on each of the 7 chakras to release unpleasant energies. How do you do that? You put a drop of harmony in the hand, your left hand. Then you take the 2 fingers. I will show that actually, that you can see that. Okay. Okay. And Irina, if you take turn off the microphone, because otherwise you jump in the picture whenever the sound is heard. So you put the oil in your hand, your left hand, and then you activate with the 2 fingers, the index finger and the middle finger, and then you put it on the crown, on the third eye, on the throat center, on the heart center, on the solar plexus, below the solar plexus, and on the perineum or on the base of your spine. From up down, when would you do it in that direction? If you are a very spacey person, if you are floating all over, then harmony can be used to bring your energies down. That's why you apply it from up down. However, if you're a very grounded person, a very material person, a very solid person, you apply harmony on the 7 chakras up. So on the perineum or base of the spine, on the sacral plexus, on the solar plexus, on the heart chakra, on the throat chakra, on the third eye, and on the crown chakra, because then it works lifting your energy up, thereby giving you still another way of harmonization. So that's it from me about harmony. Did you have any experiences with harmony, Irina?
Yes, I love harmony. I use harmony during, especially during Mercury retrograde, because it seems that's when a lot of miscommunications happen and my emotions are a bit out of balance. So I make sure before I go to bed, if I'm not feeling myself and disgrounded, I always use harmony before bedtime. Yes.
Wonderful. So going to the next oil.
So we have forgiveness. We all can use some forgiveness in our lives. It's a big, big word, forgiveness, for all of us. So by bringing consciousness to past trauma, modifications, and unpleasant emotions, we become aware of emotional blockades and release them. Blockages, I should say, right? Did I mispronounce it? I'm sorry. This essential
It's mistranslated. It was translated from German to English.
Okay. This essential oil blend enables us to forgive and let go.
So to forgive and to forget, who do you start with forgiving? You start with yourself. Most of us have not forgiven ourselves for many things. And so to become forgiving, to become truly compassionate, first step you take is with yourself. This oil can give you great support in this. And it's one of my absolute favorite oils because if you look at the ingredients, it has only 3 ingredients: rose, melissa, and the immortelle. It's called helichrysum in the Latin name, also in the English name. Immortelle is the name immortal. The French call it like this because in the ancient times it was supposed to make people not immortal really, but to keep people young for a longer time. These are the 3 main ingredients. Of course, forgiveness also includes angelica, which we know is inside harmony, frankincense, which is inside harmony and inside valor, sandalwood, which is inside harmony, lavender, which is inside harmony, bergamot, geranium, and jasmine, all also inside harmony. So basically you have a different variation of harmony. It's still these oils, angelica, frankincense, sandalwood, lavender, bergamot, geranium, jasmine, all 7 you also find in harmony, but the top is the rose, the melissa, and the immortal, the helichrysum. And these are the 3 most expensive oils that exist. For example, for the rose, you need about 10,000 pounds to get 1 liter of real rose oil. So sometimes people buy rose oil for a bottle for $10. It's impossible. When you go to Bulgaria, to the Valley of the Kings, or to Iran, these are the 2 main countries where we get the real rose oil from, the Damascene rose, which is an ancient rose, because you probably have experienced it. If you go to the flower shop and you ask, do you have roses that are fragrant? You will get some sad looks, because nowadays roses don't smell anymore, don't have a fragrance, don't have a scent anymore, because they are so, well, genetically manipulated, over cultivated, and they don't have the original energies and the original ingredients anymore. So this is why it has to be the Damascene rose, the ancient rose, which nowadays grows mostly in Bulgaria and in Iran. 10,000 pounds of rose petals for 1 liter of oil. That means 1 milliliter in Bulgaria costs $30, $40 if it's the real one, if it's not, a synthetic one. And so this also Young Living has the rose oil, and I think it costs like $180 for 5 milliliters. And it's crazy. It means 1 drop costs $3. And most people who are new to oils, they will say, well, this is totally crazy. How can 1 drop cost $3? Wait a second. If you just apply 1 drop on your heart center, in the center of your chest, or even half a drop, and the other half drop on your nose tip, you will be in heaven for the next hours, and you will feel the effects for 2 or 3 days. It's that strong. So we have to balance our quantitative thinking with the quality that these oils have, with the strengths these oils have. Melissa, another very interesting plant. It's a white flower, and it has a positive impact on the nerve system, on the brain when inhaled. And it has been used in ancient times by monks and by nuns in the medieval monasteries to guard against evil spirits, to guard against black magic. Melissa is quite interesting. It keeps away bad energies from you. And rose opens your heart, connects you with the love, connects you with being. Melissa guards you against evil influences, against bad influences, because this is what we also have to let go. If we want to forgive, we have to let go of the old, of the bad energies, of the bad memories. And it really cleanses them, even from your nerve system, even from your cellular memory, these bad memories. And the immortal, it heals. It puts you together again. It's not healing in the medicinal sense. It's healing in making you whole again. Whole and to heal, there is a similarity. Maybe we have lost some parts of ourselves by not being kind to ourselves, by not forgiving ourselves, and these parts have become alienated from us. some of us have split personalities, actually all of us, because whatever we suppress, whatever we cannot forgive in ourselves, becomes an excluded part of our own personality. The immortal, the helichrysum, integrates again. It makes you whole again. So this is an absolutely lovely oil. Interestingly, you apply forgiveness on the navel and around the navel in a circular motion, clockwise. And then you breathe out, you exhale, and you feel how all negative emotion goes out through your navel center. Irina?
Hello? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, anything to add about forgiveness?
Absolutely. Very personal experience. I don't use forgiveness anymore, but I used to use forgiveness every day when I was going through a particular difficult time in my life after my grandmother's death. I was in deep grief, and I also was going through a lot of problems with relationship with my parents. And there are some things that I knew for myself. I made a conscious decision that I needed to let go. And of course, it required a lot of spiritual work on my part. But I have to say that forgiveness really helped me to get to the core, to the deep level of that spirituality, and to release those emotions. It really does. It's an amazing oil. So thank you for forgiveness.
Thank you.
Okay. And now we have on the screen present time. Present time intensifies the feeling of being in the now. And I'm going to stop here because many of you guys hear a lot of talk about staying in the present, staying in the now. So present time is a very relevant oil, very relevant topic right now. So physical symptoms occur when we are consciously or unconsciously attached to the past. To live in the here and now is the key not only to physical health, but to spiritual growth. We give up our mental patterns and make a further step towards the golden future.
And this is an amazing secret. The now is also our future, because even when we have arrived in the future, it has become the now. And so only by being present-minded, by being in the now, we can make our future golden. Some people make the mistake, they do a lot of planning for the future, but then when the moment comes, they get totally overwhelmed and they say, oh God, what have I planned for this? I forgot this. And then they are lost. So don't make too many plans. Make general plans, make goals. Definitely, that's very important. You have your goals, you have your processes right. But then the real secret is be present-minded, be there, here and now, because that changes your fate and whatever you do so much more than anything else. Now, present time has one main oil, and that's neroli. And as you can see, Citrus sinensis is the orange, but it's not the peel of the fruit. It's from the petals, from the blossom of the orange tree. So basically from orange we have two oils. The orange oil, which is from the peel of the fruit, and the neroli, which is from the petals of the flower of the orange tree. And this is an amazing oil, by the way, also a very expensive oil if you get it as a single oil, because it contains very little essential oil, the petals. And the ancient Egyptians used it to put together body, mind, and spirit into wholesomeness. Its fragrance, and when you smell this oil, it's unforgettable because it goes totally to the core. And it really wakes you up. And it's a smell, a scent you cannot resist. And some people actually hate it because it brings them too much into the now. It confronts them with what is. And many people, they have their patterns of trying to avoid what is. And neroli doesn't give you a choice. It brings you so strongly into the present. It wakes your mind up. It makes your spirit alert. And it's really amazing effect. Even in the body, you feel really wakeful. At the same time, it stabilizes emotions. It enhances inner peace, faith, and awareness. And the ancient Egyptians have always seen the orange blossom oil, the neroli, as an oil which connects you to the spirit and to consciousness, thereby awakening you. Further, present time contains ilang ilang, which we have talked about. It's the one that balances femininity and masculinity, yin and yang, not to be confused with ilang ilang. And also it contains spruce, and it has a base of sesame seed oil. So spruce, remember, we had that one already in the Valor. It's that straight tree that totally aligns you. Ilang ilang is what balances your yin and your yang, your masculinity and your femininity. But the main ingredient here is neroli, the orange blossom, and that is the one thing that totally brings you into the now, awakens your spirit, awakens your consciousness. Interestingly, it should be applied on the wrists, on the inside of your wrists, and behind the ears. And I always put a little bit on the tip of my nose because I like the fragrance so much, but really by putting it behind the ears, it wakes you up extra strong. Irina?
Yes, I use present time when I get too carried away with my thoughts, worrying about a project, worrying about what other people are thinking. And this blend always brings me back and grounds me, brings me back to the present moment, allows me to embrace the present. Like you mentioned before, many of us are so concerned with our past and how it affects our present, or too busy creating future without understanding that future is being created in the now. So for me, this oil resonates with kind of bringing my emotions back on track and really facing the present, really staying in the moment, noticing the beautiful, noticing the good, noticing all the wonderful things around me, counting my blessings. And that's what present time does for me.
Beautifully said. Release.
Oh boy, this is one of my favorites, and many friendships formed thanks to release. First of all, the scent is absolutely amazing. Release, it does exactly what it says. It releases accumulated anger, especially from the liver. And that's where Greeks believed each, liver stores anger and makes us feel comfortable. By letting go these unpleasant emotions and memories, we are able to establish an affirmative attitude towards life.
Release. Let go. And sometimes you can release just by exhaling strongly, letting it all go. Take a mini vacation of 5 minutes and just breathe out. But when you have release, the oil blend with you, apply it around the middle of your body, around stomach, liver area, where a lot of emotions are stored. And interestingly, release consists of lavandin. Lavandin is not lavender, the lavender angustifolia, but hybrid lavender, which has more camphorites. It's more cleansing. It doesn't have the specific lavender effect. In fact, most oils that are sold as lavender nowadays are in fact lavandin. And so people are a little bit confused about that. But lavandin has the main effect, it's cleansing. It's refreshing. It makes you clear again. Lavender has the main effect. It soothes you. It's soft, and also lavender is great because it keeps away insects. It keeps away moths. and great scent lavender has. Now, lavandin to purify, to clarify. Blue tansy, which we had already in the Valor, also very harmonizing, especially working on accumulated anger in the liver. Now, you will say, how can anger get into the liver? The fact is, in the ancient time, they believed that emotions go into the blood. And the organ that is cleansing the blood is the liver. And the liver does an amazing job every day for us. And so energetically, sometimes our liver has to carry a lot of strong emotions. And that's why blue tansy, with its special effect on releasing and soothing the liver, and also, interestingly, recurring thoughts, recurring angry thoughts. You know, you get mad about something and you get hypnotized. You have to think back and back about it. It's crazy. We make ourselves crazy, but this is because we have not released the emotion yet. We have not released the energy yet. So, very interestingly, also, once you have released, once you have let go of bad feelings, it brings you back to yourself and thereby strengthens your feeling of self-determination. Further, release contains the usual suspects, I might say. Ylang ylang, you have heard about it. It's in 3 other oils. So you see there's a red thread throughout these oils. Gary Young is very wise in how he combines each oil blend, but also how he combines oils for a specific application. Geranium again inside for the heart, for harmonizing the heart, the feelings of the heart. Sandalwood inside again for the head, for the third eye, for the crown chakra, for the pineal gland. Makes you really clear, aligns you to the spirit spheres. In a base of olive oil, and by the way, olive oil, good olive oil, contains both fatty oils and essential oils. But of course here it is used because release often is used also for massage, because it really, when you use release for massage, it helps the body, the muscles let go of tensions. And that's why release has a carrier oil of olive oil. Release, put on the liver, circular motions, put on the stomach, I might say. I also put it on my stomach and see how feelings of frustration disappear.
Well, yes, I have a tendency to hold on to my emotions sometimes. So I make sure before I go to bed, I use release. And it's a conscious decision. And I actually say it with, I say a mantra while I'm rubbing release on area of my liver, or I'm inhaling it. I use mantra which states, be gone, I'm letting go of what no longer serves me. I thank this day for all the good things that it brought me, and I'm letting go of all the bad things. And I consciously say that I no longer choose to hold on to the emotions that will no longer serve me. And I keep repeating that to myself while inhaling and applying release. Very important oil in my daily life.
Nice, nice. That's a very good tip, Irina. Actually, many people go to bed with a lot of tension, with a lot of bad unresolved emotions. And I've heard it also from others. You remind me of it, how pleasant it is for them to put release on their body before going to bed, and how well they sleep, and also how they wake up the next morning. They're totally fresh. They're not, you know, when you have a bad sleep because you take too many emotions with you, you really feel worn out when you wake up the next morning. So this is a great tip.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Inner child. We all have inner child in us, and we want to bring that inner child more often than we usually do, because it represents such happiness and innocence. When children experience trauma, they often lose connection to their inner self or inner child. Feelings of shame and confusion are the results of their shattered personalities. This can be experienced as a great hindrance, especially in the time from adolescence until midlife. This condition is commonly described as a midlife crisis.
And that's quite interesting. I've heard that, excuse me, people have especially strong midlife crises who have unresolved issues with their childhood and who could not connect to their inner child anymore. Whereas if you have a golden childhood and if you keep the little boy inside your heart, the little girl inside your heart alive, and I'm sure you know what I'm speaking about, this is the one thing that makes you really smile, makes you really happy. Then if you have that inner child alive, there is no midlife crisis. It's actually, midlife crisis is probably being lost, being alienated from yourself, being alienated from your inner child. So the fragrance of inner child revives memories which reconnect us to our true self. This is one of the first steps to harmonize and stabilize our emotions, to be connected to what we truly are. And it consists of, number one, the oil and the fruit that every child loves, and that's the tangerine, the mandarin. It's, the essential oil is in the peel, and children like to do that around Christmas. They have the tangerines, they eat them, and then they spray the oil that is contained in the peel. It gives that wonderful fresh smells, and children generally just love this fruit because it gives happiness, and at the same time it's really relaxing. It's also, by the way, one of the oils that is in peace and calming, which is another favorite of children. So for children, the inner child, the peace and calming, and the tangerine oil are very, very interesting oils. They really keep the child alive, they keep us relaxed, they keep us happy. Lemongrass supports blood circulation, by the way, a very good oil for massage, but also that strong scent that it has, fresh scent, it keeps you really awake, it invigorates the spirit, and it acts purifyingly and increases wakefulness. And here we are again, neroli, which you know already from present time, the orange blossom oil. Why is it in inner child? Very simple reason. Children live in the moment. Children live in the now until they get programmed enough by the grown-ups to live in the past and in the future. And that's exactly when our childhood days are golden, as long as we are in the now, as long as we are in the present. And so to bring back the connection with the inner child, neroli is a very important component. That's why you find it also in inner child. Now you notice you're becoming an alphabet. You're becoming alphabetic. You start to know what the different ingredients in an oil blend can mean and why they are put together. Inner child also consists of orange, great for children, jasmine, great for love and femininity, but again, sandalwood, spruce, which straightens you, aligns you, and connects you to above. Children usually have a great connection to their self, to the higher self, above the head. And also inner child contains ilang ilang. Ilang ilang, a permanent usual suspect here in this. Why? Because it balances your yin and your yang, and that's very, very important for your feelings. And also ilang ilang balances your masculinity and femininity. And sometimes our masculine and feminine parts, they are at war with each other. And our feelings, our emotions suffer as a consequence. This oil should be applied under the nose and also on the heart chakra in the center of the chest. It opens the path which leads to your inner self. I might remind you that some yoga techniques and some Zen techniques exist where the yogi or the Zen Roshi concentrate on the tip of the nose to connect to their self.
Well, I also would like to add that it is important to remember, for all of us to remember your inner child. I'm also a teacher, and many times when I used to have my own classroom, I used to watch children play, interact with each other in such an authentic, joyful, happy way. And they really, truly, we can learn so much from them as adults, because we were once children too. So where did all these reservations come from? So inner child for me, when I take a dance class, or even when I'm home cleaning my house, I apply inner child and I sing and I dance and I bring out that innocence, that joy, and I dance like no one's watching, even if I look silly. Who cares? It makes me happy. That's when I use inner child. So that's my confession for today.
That's beautiful. You're dancing around like a little girl. Wonderful.
Why not?
So we end the application of the feelings oils again with valor. It's used in the beginning and in the end of the feelings application. It completes our experience with the feelings of balance and integrity. You may repeat the feelings kit application as often as you wish, but Gary Young says if you do it for 30 consecutive days, you will have a very strong and transformative emotional journey. And I know what he's talking about, because most people who do it twice daily, that means morning and evening, this application of all 6 oils, they feel so well by day 15 that they say, oh, I'm fantastic. I don't need it anymore. And they stop doing it. And the funny thing is, when you do it for 30 days, then it stays much longer, the effect. You stay much more integrated. You stay much more connected to your inner child. You stay much more in the present. You stay much more in the harmony. You stay much more in alignment. So please, if you are working with the feeling set with these 6 oils, every morning and every evening, takes you about 5-7 minutes to do these applications, then stick to it for 30 days. You will be richly rewarded. Irina?
I just want to say that, if your time or regime does not allow for full application, I would still encourage you to use the oils during the day, during the week. Just experiment with them, what works best for you, how it resonates. Listen to your intuition, listen to your feelings, because we have to stop and listen to our bodies and our feelings. Our feelings talk back to us. So definitely notice the difference. Like Aditya said, yes, you will feel a tremendous difference if you use the kit for, 30 days, Aditya, you said?
Yes.
30 days. But again, we're not all the same. We don't have the same schedules. And I know sometimes in New York City, it gets a little hectic, but still make them part of your everyday life. Use them. Don't forget about them. Know they're there. And they could be your little angels in the bottle. So definitely, I would encourage you to use these oils and discover which ones work best for you.
Very nice. And in fact, I heard that some people, they just keep present time with them the whole day. And sometimes they just open the bottle and they sniff a little from it to bring them back to the present, to the now. Some other people, they have always inner child with them, so they don't get too serious in the stressy day-to-day life. Some people keep harmony with them. So you can, of course, use the whole application with the 6 oils, but you may also focus on 1 or 2 special oils adjusted to your needs. Irina, how can people get the oils in case they don't have an access to the oils yet?
Okay, guys, let me guide you through the process. Young Living, we are online company. So in order to get the oils, you would have to have either a retail account or wholesale account. please contact me. My phone number is 718-986-3724. This is my cell. My email, I don't know if it's here, but I will send it to you. It's irigk@aol.com. And also,
it's in the right side panel. Where people see now the offer in the right side panel. So you can note down Irina's phone number and also her email.
And at the bottom of the slide, you see my Young Living distributor website, youngliving.org/spicehunt included. So you can go to my website, browse through the products. If you, when you click on a sign up link, it will take you directly to the sign up page, and you will have to decide for yourself, of course, whether you want to open a wholesale account or just purchase the oils retail. I will help you. I can, please contact me. I will be happy to answer any questions, assist you with opening an account, give you information about the oils, about the process. So we are here to help.
So on the right side panel, you have a little yellow button. Please click here. If you click that button, it takes you directly to Irina's website, and it opens in a separate window, so don't worry, you will not be kicked out of the webinar, because we are still taking questions in case any of the audience have questions. Irina spoke about wholesale and retail prices, depending on the type of account that you have. And here we see the prices for the complete feelings kit with either the wholesale or the retail price.
As you can see, there's a difference, you know, a significant difference. And for all my clients who are using oils, I always advise to open member account. And then after you open a member account, you can purchase any oil at any time, no pressure. At wholesale price. So it definitely, it is a great idea to be a member. And I believe Aditya has a special offer for us tonight.
Well, in fact, the special offer is you.
Okay. Oh, great.
You offer personal training with the oils, and any other question you might have about aromatherapy, wellness, and as you heard the background of Irina, there's a lot of stuff, but this is for you if you are in the area, New York metropolitan area, and of course otherwise can be online training that Irina can give you. And if you open an account, a member account with Young Living through Irina, you will also get as a free bonus the PDF of this presentation.
Okay. Should we
So we show our faces again.
Hello.
And hello.
Yes.
If there are any questions, please put them in the chat. And if there are no questions,
not
then
yet.
We think that you heard a lot. And in fact, the one thing that we cannot transport through a webinar, unfortunately, is the fragrance. This is, that technology is yet not invented that we can pass the little bottle through
but
the
I
screen.
do have my oil with me. See? Yes. Well, I would like to thank Aditya. Thank you very much for your knowledge, for sharing this information with us. Thank you. Thank you guys for being such a lovely audience, for your willingness to listen, to absorb this information. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me at all. All of you have a lovely, lovely night. We hope that you go to bed releasing all your negative emotions and feelings today, whether you have oils or don't have oils yet. Please let everything go and start fresh tomorrow. Have a good night's sleep and just stay happy.
Great. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
And a wonderful journey with your feelings.
Bye-bye.
And with your essential oils.